Yo, what is going on, you malnourished machamps? Today we're going to be playing some games with Blounds, Blacephalon, and Ganadel. Now, while I don't think this deck is in the best spot competitively in the current standard format, I think it's still a fun deck to go back to and play around with a little bit. If you're looking for a deck to kind of run hot or just kind of let loose your opponent out of the game with, Blounds is about as good as any other. Still a very fun deck to play around with now and then. Currently, like I said, not in the best place in the competitive meta, but overall still a very strong deck in its own right. So this is the list that I've been running around with recently. I guess the big card here that a lot of other people play, I guess two big cards here that most people play that I do not like, is the Tapu Lele GX. I've opted for a third Marshadow. Not a big fan of Lele GX. Put it in play always feels like I've already lost the game, so I'd rather just let loose again and hope to draw a draw supporter off that. And then I don't play the Ericas. Not a big fan of Ericas. I don't think the card is very good. You don't want to draw it early on in the first couple turns at all. It's never good in the first couple turns, and sometimes your hand is so big you can't play it anyway. So yeah, not a big fan of Ericas. Not a very consistent card. It sometimes is very, very good. Other times, not so much. So I'm just opting to max out the lilies and then the Ultra Ball and Treasure, so we can thin our hand down and be able to use Lily. I guess it could work for Erica as well, but opening Erica in the first couple turns sometimes is terrible. And then against Zapdos decks, sometimes they're able to keep their bench just ends up being really small for the first couple turns, and then once again you're just drawing like no cards. Even against Pikarom as well, sometimes their field is like a Jirachi, a Pikarom, and a Zapdos or something. You're just going like Erica for 3, maybe. So yeah, not a big fan of Erica, so it's not in here. Not a big fan of Lele, so that's not in here as well. But this is the list I've been liking. So let's go ahead and get to some games and see how it runs. Game here, our opponent's opening up with the Jolteon and a Jirachi, so nothing spectacular going on for our opponent off the start of this one. Yeah, they're definitely a little bit behind here. We're just going to go ahead and start setting up some Naganadels. Not going to let loose because they did so little on their first turn. We could Lily for 5. I kind of like the Lily for 5, actually. We for sure have a draw supporter for next turn. They're on that Heat Factory. Gonna draw some cards here. Hopefully hoping for another Poipole. Not so lucky. I don't really like putting down 2 Blacephalons until I have to. It is possible we get knocked out by this Jolteon. And if we do, we'll just go with the Retreat and then Bursting Burn it. Or actually, we'll have access to Beast Ring then. So we could just maybe get the knockout there. We need to hit 2 Beast Rings, so a little unlikely, but it's still possible. So yeah, playing against a Lightning deck for sure. It's so hard to tell what build of a Lightning deck you're playing against these days, though. It could really be anything. There's an escape rope from our opponent, so the Poipole is going to be knocked out here. But our Bursting Burn to the Jolteon is actually going to be pretty effective overall. So it's really not too big of a loss here. Maybe this Vulcan will give us a little bit more insight onto what we're playing against. They did grab a Nest Ball, so we'll definitely see a little bit more of their deck here, unless I just get like another Jirachi. Nope, there it is. It is a Pikarom deck. All right, so kind of lining up Jolteon plus Pikarom to be our 5 prizes here, I think. That's what we're looking at to be our potential 5 prizes. Blacephalon makes its way active. It's very possible this Blacephalon gets knocked out next turn. I think I am just going to go ahead and throw another one down attached to it, and then we plan to Bursting Burn. I could bench another Blacephalon as well. Nah, not feeling it. Yeah, definitely going to go with the Cynthia here. Look for some new cards. Use the Heat Factory on the other side of this. Whoa, that is way too many fire energy. All right, we're just going to go with a Let Loose, and then look for the Heat Factory on the other side of this Let Loose. I don't really want to let loose my opponent, but with a hand that bad, I don't really see a choice other than to let loose. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and start with Heat Factory here. We want to draw Poipoles. No Poipoles. Can't really use that Ultra Ball anyways. Our hand is kind of clogged up. I don't want that. Actually, I do want the Poipole. Here we go. Grab the Poipole. Bench Poipole, and then Bursting Burn. So super slow turn on this one from us. Not super good. Not a super good turn at all. We'll see what our opponent is able to pull off. But yeah, we had a really weak turn there. There's an Erica's for 4 from our opponent. So not a whole ton of value off of that. Another reason I don't like Erica's. I just don't like the card. Not a fan. So yeah, we're looking at probably trying to KO Jolteon plus Pikarom for our last 5 prizes. Don't know if it's going to quite pan out as well as that, though. With the way the current situation is looking, it probably won't. But we'll see. We have 4 energy in the discard pile, which is not good. Yeah, the 4 energy in the discard pile is kind of rough, having set up no Naganadels up to this point with the Prized one Poiple, and they weren't able to ever Ultra Ball for Ditto, so that kind of slowed us down a little bit. I could have Ultra Balled for Ditto in the last turn, but it didn't really make any sense. They also still have their GX attack, which is going to be rough for us to deal with. This one is actually just looking really rough in general. We're going to get the knockout here, but then they can just GX attack us with Jolteon and really limit our options. I think I'm just going to start with Heat Factory here. All right, we got some options, nothing too great, though. We can knock out the Zapdos, which is pretty cool, I guess. Gonna treasure for the Naganadel. And oh man, yeah, I guess that's gonna be it. I'm trying to think of another thing we could possibly do on the turn, but I think we want to hold the Ultra Ball to possibly get a Let Loose next turn. Yeah, I think we just have to go with this. Not much else to do on this turn, I don't think. Yeah, get ourselves a prize card. It is a Lily, so a draw supporter is pretty nice here, but we're probably gonna have to use the Guzma this turn. I would imagine our opponent is going to GX attack us with the Jolteon. They could not, though, I guess. They don't have to. It's not the only play available. There is a grab of an E-Power, so now they could definitely go with the Electro Bullet knockout. 30 on the probably the bench Blacephalon. In which case, we're going to dig deep, try and find as many B-Strings as possible. We have the Ultra Ball to get out another Blacephalon. We would be in an okay spot if that was their game plan, was to use the Electro Bullet to knock out active, probably set up 30 on the bench Blacephalon. They still have 5 prizes, so they still have a little ways to go to actually be able to close out the game. There's another Jirachi grab from our opponent. And they've had a pretty slow game with the Stellar Wishes as far as those go. And here they go again, another Stellar Wish. We'll see if they can't draw. Pull a little bit better on this one. There's a Volkner. That is the problem with the heavy Volkner builds, though, is they're not draw supporters, they're Volkners, which means they're not quite as good as draw supporters. So yeah, personally, not a big fan of Volkner myself. So it is going to be... So they're trying to draw 3 prizes at once, actually, which means they would completely bypass our B-String turn, which would stink. So we can't let that happen. Gonna charging up. We're gonna energy switch it over. Guzma, knock out the Jirachi with the escape board. If they have another Guzma, they will successfully be able to do that. So we're really hoping they don't have another Guzma in hand. And we're just gonna go with this, hoping they don't have another Guzma, and then have to go the other way about it. Here we go, though. Knockout. We can definitely still win, even if they do successfully pull off that play. It's still possible for us to win the game. It just becomes a whole hell of a lot harder. And yeah, there's a good chance they pull a Guzma here. They've been through a decent, and actually they haven't been through too much of their deck. They have 4 Guzmas left. They're definitely playing actually with the Pikarom, sometimes they skimp a little bit on the Guzmas. They probably play 4 Guzmas though, so 3 Guzmas left, almost for sure. Taking their time on the Stellar Wish though. If there was a Guzma in there, I'm sure they would have pulled it immediately. We see them grabbing an energy switch here. I'm not sure what that's going to lead to. They might energy switch off of the Jolteon to the Pikarom. I could definitely see their play being energy switch over here, and then they'll come up Electro Bullet for 30 here, and then knock out this Blacephalon, also attaching to the Pikachu and Zekrom to set that thing up to use full Blitz next turn. Or maybe they just have the full setup for the Pikarom, but attacking with Pikarom is a little risky here, I feel like, because I could just have enough Beast Rings to actually one-shot this Pikachu and Zekrom. So we'll see what they end up with here. Looks like they are gonna commit to the Pikarom this turn. A little scary for me. Maybe not, though. See what they're retreating. It is to the Pikarom. If they're going for the full Blitz, they could full Blitz this, actually, for 150, and then just not knock it out, which would be super annoying, because then we no longer have... Nope, they're going with the Tag Ball. Okay, so here's our moment to dig deep and find 2 B-Strings. We're just gonna commit to it immediately. We're just going for it. We're going to there for double B-Strings, and we win the game on it, so may as well just go for it. There's B-String number 1. There's 3 B-Strings left in deck. I feel pretty good about this. Could bench Grimer, Ultra Ball away these 2. We would grab nothing because we can let loose twice still, but we can still bench the Grimer so we can max out 6 on the Lily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's some energy left in the deck, so we should Heat Factory right now, I feel like, or should we let loose first? I actually feel like we should let loose first. I think so, yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. No B-String yet. We do have the attach return, though, possibly. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Not quite there yet as well. Ultra Ball away, and again at Elbocephalon. Get another Let Loose. We still have 3 Beast Rings left in deck, so we have a good shot of hitting one here. We haven't attached yet, but if we find a Beast Ring and find... Yeah, we don't attach. Do we attach now? Because no, because we could draw into like all the energy possibly in the Beast Ring. But that's so unlikely. I would rather just not draw the energy, increase my chance of drawing a Beast Ring. So I think that is still right to attach here. And then we let loose. Look for the Beast Ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the Beast Ring. And we're going to be able to close this one out. It got a little close here in the end. I think they should have gone with the Electro Bullet play here. I think they got a little greedy with this play. Or just going with the full Blitz. I didn't even hate them going with just kind of going with the full Blitz. But we are able to, yeah, I think a full Blitz there for 150. The Pikarom is like not in danger of getting knocked out pretty much at all ever, I think. But they do take the knockout there, and they weren't able to fully take advantage of that and end up taking this game. That was super weird. Only was able to set up 1 Ganondorf throughout the whole game. That really slowed us down a ton. Let them almost set up that Electro Bullet play to get around the Beast Ring turn, but end up taking in the end there. Close one though. Another game here. Got the Poipole start, not great. The Grimer potential. We got the Treasure. Actually, Poipole start's usually fine. I prefer like almost Cephalon, but going second, I guess a little bit. Ooh, we got the mirror match going on. All right. So Grimer is going to be useless, but it's hard to get rid of energy, I feel like. So we're still going to get rid of an energy here. I'm debating going for the Let Loose here because our opening hand is not great, but then we'd have to pull pretty well off the Let Loose. We could just go for the Poipole, set that up, and then Lily for 4. That's what I'm opting for right now. We can also attach active because we do have the E-switch in hand, so we can move that over to a Blacephalon potentially, and we're going to end up let loosing anyways. It looks like Ultra Maul away, Grimer and energy. Gonna grab the I guess third Poipole. Yeah, why not? I don't see a reason not to. Grab the third Poips. And then we'll treasure away this Ultra Ball. Definitely want to keep a hand on the energy switch. And we're going to go ahead and let loose our opponent here. Turn to attack. Not looking too ridiculously likely. We could always just go for a Spit Poison, though. That wouldn't be terrible. More let looses to boot. But I don't really want to give them Heat Factory. But I'd want a Heat Factory before I let loose. So I don't think we're let loosing this turn. I think we are just going to pass and then plan to put Heat Factory in play and let loose next turn, because for them having 4 or 4 doesn't really matter. We're not going to dig for anything else this turn. The only thing we'd be doing is giving them a free Heat Factory, and there's the Burst Burn. Let loose doing its job. Our opponent dead drawing. Oh, but there's the Beast Energy off the prizes. All right. That's a pretty good grab from our opponent. Yeah, Spit Poison might be what we're going with here. We don't really want to let loose our opponent again, but we don't really have a choice if we want to progress our side of the board at all. So I think we have to just go with another let loose here. Really stinks to go with let loose here after we know our opponent is not drawing great, but don't really have a choice. Yeah, attach the bench and then Lily for 4. We're looking for a Heat Factory use after that. Okay, 2 Beast Rings in hand is fabulous. The other let loose is also a great draw here to potentially use. Could GX attack here. Retreat GX attack. Retreat Bursting Burn is also actually pretty good. It would make it really awkward for our opponent to choose what to do on their turn. They don't have a ton set up. I kind of like the Bursting Burn. Let's go with the Bursting Burn, actually. I kind of like the idea of the Bursting Burn attack here. Charging up. We could get another Ganondorf out. Do I think it's essential this turn? Not really. Not with 2 Beast Rings in hand. And the Cynthia. I don't really want to use the Guzma either. Ultra Ball away the Guzma, actually. Or the energy or the let loose. So I think we're just going with the Bursting Burn. We're not going to get another Ganondorf out quite yet. Yeah, just Bursting Burn this. Make it awkward for our opponent. They don't have access to Beast Ring yet. Yeah, it's definitely awkward for our opponent right now. On this turn, I mean, if they want to do something like Guzma potentially knock out something off the bench, I'd be fine with that. Yeah, I didn't really want to give them the Heat Factory, but we didn't want to like dead draw too poorly off our let loose as well, so better safe than sorry. Oh, they play a Marshadow GX. That's interesting. I actually really like that. It allows you like a little bit more comeback against the Pikarom decks. When they like play around your Beast Ring turns, you E-switch to the Marshadow, copy the Mind Blown. I like that. I actually really like the Marshadow edition. The Field Blower, not so much. It's still cute, but less necessary. Ultra Space coming in to replace our Heat Factory. That's fine with me. I want to find the Ganondels myself personally, so I'm fine with this switch up here from our opponent. There's the charging up. I think they probably will go for the flip here. It's actually going to be a huge flip. Might even just decide the game if they get heads. I think they win. If they get tails, I think they lose. We'll see. They have a little bit more play than we do because they are up. They got that GX prize there when they did. So now they can go like KO Blacephalon, KO something small, KO Blacephalon. They don't have to go like I'm looking at probably going KO Blacephalon, KO Blacephalon, KO Blacephalon. But yeah, we'll see what they go for. They don't have quite a skateboard as well. That is also an interesting addition to the deck they got there. And the Oranguru, they got a whole bunch of spice in their Blacephalon deck here. There goes a fire, so they do now have enough energy to one-shot our Blacephalon. They will have to get rid of all energy. Oh, they didn't get in again. Oh, I think this Poipole just came down this turn. Oh, this one hasn't even charging up yet. Okay, so yeah, they've been ready to go. Here they go. If they want, oh yeah, they had plenty of energy. So if they want to go for the flip, here it is, tails. All right, well, as far as I know, that one's gonna that's gonna pretty much lock it up for us. I think we will be walking away with this win, which is weird to say. We barely played any of the game. We do know they have Let Loose in hand, which really stinks for us because we have 3 Beast Rings, but we're not gonna like shuffle the hand away or anything. I'm just gonna go ahead, charging up a couple times, and then take this knockout here. Yeah, that's gonna stink for us actually. The fact that our we're gonna lose 3 Beast Rings on this Let Loose, but can't do anything about it. Marshadow and Guzma are not gonna be super good, so I might Ultra Ball away both those right now and get the last Naganadel. Yeah, and then because the Ultra Space is in play, so we may as well utilize that. We also get another charging up, which is kind of cool. And then yeah, it's gonna be the Mind Blown for discard 2 here, and then 1 off this guy here. 3, yep, that's the knockout. 150, and goodbye. Blacephalon could have kept 1 more energy in play if our opponent didn't heal the burn, but they did heal the burn. So yeah, there's all right. So top deck Beast Ring from our opponent. We knew their 1 card in hand was Let Loose Marshadow, so that's a really good top deck from our opponent. We're hoping to do the same after this Let Loose. I assume this Let Loose is going to be coming down here, but then they just went ahead and grabbed a Blacephalon. So I don't know anymore actually. That was a weird Ultra Space to use if you are going to Let Loose. They haven't benched it yet, so I feel like they're definitely rethinking it now. Like, wait, wasn't I going to Let Loose this whole time with an Instruct for 1? So definitely some missequencing here from our opponent. I'm not sure what they're up to right here with these plays, but they get another Beast Ring off the Instruct for 1. Okay, but without benching the Blacephalon, I think maybe it would have been better to bench the Blacephalon, Beast Ring to that Blacephalon at this point. But yeah, it looks like they do want to commit to the Let Loose. I mean, I like the Let Loose play. I think they probably should have done that initially at the beginning of the turn. Just been like, all right, here comes the Let Loose. All right, we do not find a draw supporter, but we got the Beast Ring, which is the biggest, most important card to find, so we can knock out our opponent's Blacephalon and then shut off their Beast Rings. With all these added techs, I actually wonder if they even play Energy Switch, so now it'll be awkward for them to potentially make a new Blacephalon. But there's an Erica for a lot of cards, so who knows what else you're going to see off this. They are going to be on the second Field Blower. Oh no, getting rid of the Ultra Space. That's going to be super. Second Field Blower? What are they not playing? Super teched out list here from our opponent, and it's actually working out pretty well so far. Completely leaving the energy on the active, but I guess that's fine because I don't have any energy in the discard pile. All right, go Naganadel. We need a Blacephalon. There we go. Ultra Space will do it. That got super close to us just losing. All right, still not in a great spot. Yeah, still in a not a terrible spot, but it's not like particularly good. Charging up here, and I'll go ahead and go with 2 and 2, and then Mind Blown 1, 2, 3, 4. We have no energy in the discard pile, but we could end up with quite a few in the discard pile, definitely. So I think I want to leave 1 on the active. Could also leave 2 on the active. I'll go 1 and 1 here. Yeah, knock out this Blacephalon. And we'll see if they have the response. Like I said, their list super weird. I don't think they have. No, they've already been through their Beast Energy. All right, that's a big deal because if they hadn't been through their Beast Energy yet, they could actually knock us out with Turning Point, knock out our Blacephalon with Turning Point, which would be a big deal. That would be a huge deal if they were able to knock us out with Turning Point. So not going to be able to do that. They can, however, Turning Point and KO one of our other Naganadels. Immediately Ultra Space for the Poiple. But yeah, with all these other random tech cards in here, I really do wonder if they actually play the... what's it called? Yeah, I really wonder if they actually play Energy Switch at all. If they don't, they're not going to be able to set up another Blacephalon, so we're going to be able to cruise from there, I think. But yeah, we'll see. They definitely could. They definitely could. How many energy do we have here? So we have 7 in here. They have 5. And there's the concede from our opponent. Yeah, I don't think they play Energy Switch, so there's really no way for them to get back into the game. If they had the Beast Energy left, they still would have been able to. But losing the Beast Energy, and then I would assume not playing Energy Switch, there's really no way for them to get back in the game. So yeah, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for this video on Blacephalon as we clean up that mirror match there. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't think the deck is super competitive right now, but it's still always a fun deck to go back and play. Super powerful deck overall. The power level in Blacephalon is super high for sure. And definitely one of those decks where if you kind of just feel like using Let Loose a lot and your deck being pretty safe into using Let Loose a lot, Blacephalon's one of those decks. Definitely one of those decks that can abuse Let Loose very well. And I currently opt for the 3 Let Loose over the 2 Let Loose and Lele. So yeah, if you're feeling like having a little bit more fun with a deck like this, go with it. That's gonna do it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give the video a like. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Links in the description to my Twitch live stream as well as social media links. Be sure to check all that fun stuff out. That's all I got. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace.